Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Pokemon Stadium 2 crazy movesets. Seems like you guys enjoyed the last video, and let's just get right into it. I think I started off with Magby, and we have Magmar right here, so we can already see that this is just one of the crazy things about the earlier Pokemon games. And something I noticed in the comment section is that a lot of people that have gone back and played Pokemon Stadium, either because they've owned it or they've just had a chance to play it again, they've noticed this as well. It's like, yeah, it is one of those things where the pre-evolution forms of Pokemon will actually have these stronger moves to kind of compensate for the lesser stats, and then it's up to you to decide if that's what you want to use or if it just has straight up better stats and more damage overall. So there's a lot of really fun stuff to look at right there, and I guess a lot of people liked it. Also, I think this is good information for even newer Pokemon players or someone that hasn't played Pokemon Stadium in a while. Like when I kicked this on for the first time in 10 years, it's like, yo, this is actually really neat. Looking at Macargo, and then we just have Pokemon that break all the rules. We have Fire Blast on Macargo. So I wonder if it's also maybe special attack based, because we have 222 right here, solid defensive stats. I mean, that Fire Blast is going to do some pretty solid damage. Amnesia, though, it only boosts special defense. Like, back in the first generation, it was pretty ridiculous to go and boost +2 to special attack and special defense. Now, Amnesia, not really that insane. You can get a little tankier, but I don't really see that adding too much. And really, you can't use Rock Slide or Smog. So the movesets do get a little intricate right there. Also, I noticed near the end of that video, I started like just really speeding it up and trying to like get through as much as possible. I'm going to try to do that throughout the rest of this video since there are still a lot of Pokemon left. What is there to say about Magikarp? Can't use Z-Splash. Mankey. Yeah, it's just got double team. So a couple of the other technical moves are something you don't see a lot. Like there's quite a bit of Attract, quite a bit of Confused Ray. If Pokemon's double team or any healing moves, that's pretty broken overall. Now another thing I do want to talk about is that I did say that Ghost was a special move. It's actually a physical move. Ghost is physical in the second generation after Morty gives you Shadow Ball. That's kind of weird to think about. Also, it kind of shows why Gengar really wasn't that great in the first generation, because you can't really use its crazy special attacking stat for stab. Looking at Magnemite though, has the Thunder on a 266 special attack. That's such a high special attack. Thunder, Thunder Wave, Supersonic Frustration. This is Thunder, Thunder Wave as well. Magneton, actually pretty strong. You can make the opponent slower, nuke them out with Thunder, do stuff like that. You have Flash to blind them a bit, and then you have Swift Side where you can always hit them as well. And it was kind of funny too, because with Ghost, I have it right there. I'm looking at the page on Bulbapedia that shows what Pokemon or what moves were special in the second generation, and my brain still thought, oh, Shadow Ball must be special. Nope, none of that. So look at Mantine, Wing Attack, Waterfall, it's okay. Looking at Mareep, it's also something interesting about Electric-type Pokemon. They're not going to have crazy amounts of coverage. This is something we even notice now in like the 6th and 7th generations, is that a lot of like Mono-Electric or just Electric-type Pokemon, they don't get that crazy amount of coverage. So I wonder if Pokemon Stadium has like a different way of kind of compensating for that. I've noticed some light screens and other moves like that kind of popping up. Meryl has a Surf, has Swagger, has Rollout. It's kind of standard right there. There we go. Marowak has Thunder Punch, which would make sense in the modern generations of Pokemon, but not really. Bone Rush, that's just ground type attack. Attack uses Bone Club to hit 2 to 5 times. So, yeah, it either has 50 power or 125 power, and honestly, that's not too insane. Thrash back in this generation only had 90 power. I think the buff to Thrash was either in like the 6th or 5th generations or something, and that was when people were like, yo, Thrash might actually be viable now, because its power is on par with like Outrage or something like that, where you actually have more than just 90 at the risk of being confused and locking yourself in. Focus Energy, that's kind of alright. Meganium, Solar Beam, Reflect, Poison Powder, Strength. Not really too much going on right there. Faint Attack, Shadow Ball. Hey, the Meowth can actually make that one work. Which means Persian might be pretty good as well. Like, if it has the Shadow Ball and the Faint Attack and stuff, that could actually be pretty nice. Also, yeah, what's the point? What's the point of Shadow Ball reducing the special defense of a target if it does physical damage? That's so weird. Faint Attack, yeah, if the opponent so never misses. So, I mean, yeah, we got some good stuff right here. Let's see, we have Metapod. Metapod is not going to be winning anyone any battles unless you do like a toxic setup and then just hard install. Just to prove me wrong, you know, sending me that Fan Fridays, which actually like a phone video of you playing Pokemon Stadium 2 and then getting toxic to KO something while you have Metapod. Yeah, absolutely, just do that to prove me wrong. So then we have Ice Punch and Stomp. Stomp is a alright power. Ice Punch mostly for the coverage. So yeah, the Miltank does pretty well. Has the Heal Bell. I thought it was a pretty solid looking Pokemon. We actually might have some problems because I was looking at the Miltank and I realized something was off because when I was using it in the Gym Leader Castle, it came with Attract. But the one that we just saw has Heal Bell. Now, after looking at some of the other Pokemon, it doesn't seem like there's really too many changes from what we've already seen. Like, that's still Thunder, Thunder Wave, Swift, and Flash. So it looks like few Pokemon might have some small changes. But yeah, I remember the Miltank being a little cooler in the Gym Leader Castle. Now, I'm not going to go through and, like, check every single Pokemon or something like that. But it is something to note that if you are looking at a different format, a Pokemon that might have sounded good or like missing one move or something might be a little different, because I just went to the Prime Cup. Prime Cup is kind of like the standard level 1 to 100, so I thought that that would be like just the best place to go for the rental. Dang, Mischievous actually looking pretty solid. Any Pokemon that has Sustain. So also, I wonder how OP Pain Split is in Pokemon Stadium 2, because just you don't take a lot of damage in this game because of the move optimization, and there's not a lot of super effective hits against the Mischievous in this generation as well. So, like, yeah, you can just kind of chip them away with Psywave, Thunder. Shadow Ball technically actually has okay damage. Like, it's not amazing because the special attack is higher than the attack, but with the attack stat, using Shadow Ball is actually still going to be a better option because of the stab. So you can do some damage with it, and then you have something with the Thunder and the Psywave, and then I guess if you just need to Pain Split, you know, you can hover around good amounts of hit points for the most part. Moltres has Endure, has Roar. Stat boosting in this game isn't really that insane, so you don't necessarily need the Roar all the time. Mr. Mime actually has Substitute, Baton Pass, Barrier, and Psybeam. That's a little fancy right there. That actually makes me wonder, like, alright, if we can get a Baton Pass chain going in Pokemon Stadium 2, Mr. Mime might be actually a pretty good option for that, because you can Barrier and then Sub, and if they're hitting you physical, you can Baton Pass out a Sub, and then the Psybeam's actually going to do good damage, and the Barrier complements the low amount of defense and the high amount of special defense on the Mr. Mime. Might actually be useful for something. Dynamic Punch, Sludge, Acid Armor. Yeah, Muck actually looks pretty strong as well. Has Disable to be annoying. Also just comes in with Dynamic Punch and Sludge, which are both going to be physical hits. Unfortunately, Sludge has a 1 in 3 chance of poisoning, but doesn't have an insane amount of attack. And also, we already know that accuracy on Dynamic Punch is going to be pretty low, so not really too sure about that. Murkrow. Faint, Haze, Fly, Nightshade. I'm so used to the Prankster Murkrow shenanigans. But yeah, we just have some cool stuff right here. Again, the utility's there, but I don't think it really matters too much. Nightshade, if it had some healing, that'd be nice. But wasn't Roost only introduced in like the 4th generation or something? So yeah, another one on the Natu, Psychic, Future Sight. Future Sight only has an 80 base power and 90% accuracy. Why was it? See, this is why people are so burned on Future Sight, because it really wasn't that great of a move until recently. Now it has like a 120 base power, right? And it's like one of those preemptive moves that still does a pretty high amount of damage. Confuse Ray, Nightshade, that seems pretty strong as well. Nightshade, that's going to 3-hit KO most Pokemon, sometimes 4-hit KO, because there are a few Pokemon that have over 300 hit points. So, yeah, there's that. Nidoking has Thunder, Mud Slap, Horn Attack. Solid stats overall, but the Horn Drill, anything with 1-hit KO move is going to be pretty nice. Nidoqueen, a little bit more supportive. Mud Slap into Toxic. Body Slam, Ice Punch. Yeah, the stats are alright overall. 220, 204. Yeah, just showing right now we can see... Why didn't Nidoqueen get Horn Drill and then Nidoking get something else? Because, yeah, Nidoqueen's tankier, so it'd have more opportunities to use that Horn Drill. Nidorino, Horn Drill as well. Nidorina, it has effectively the same kind of moveset, has the Bite instead. It's really not too many differences there. Then we see the Nidoran. Nidoran not really too fancy overall. And then we have Ninetales with the Fire Blast, but not much else. Also, the special attack's really low. Like, Magnemite has a higher special attack than the Ninetales, and it only has Fire Blast, not much else on coverage. Quick Attack doesn't really matter too much. Roar, Safeguard. So yeah, it does get some power behind it, but not much else. Also, this is before Energy Ball. I'm pretty sure, like, Energy Ball, that's like 3rd or 4th generation. So the coverage on Ninetales is kind of lacking. And of course, no Alola Ninetales. That is still a very long ways off at the time of this making this game. Fly Confusion on the Noctowl with Takedown Foresight. Yeah, Noctowl not really looking too fancy. Octazooka. Octazooka's always there. 50-50 chance of reducing the target's accuracy. I kind of enjoy the little, like, the little flavor text for all this. You know, it says like 1 in 3, 1 in 5, 50-50. They don't mess around with those percentage odds. But yeah, you can do that. The overall damage on the artillery, actually surprisingly high, 266 and 266 on artillery. We have lock on for really no good reason, but we have Otazuka Hyper Beam, so it's alright. Not the best, but alright. We have Oddish with Giga Drain Stun Spore. Sludge Bomb Moonlight. Yo, it has the Moonlight. So we'll see if Vileplume or... And we already looked at Gloom. I don't remember if Gloom had the Moonlight, but Vileplume has it or something. Yeah, any Pokemon Sustain is going to be really solid. Looking at Onix, Earthquake, Rock Throw, Sandstorm, Strength. Mostly high on defenses, not really too much else going for it. Let's see, Amistar has the Water Gun and the Bite for that special attack. Like, I think the hardest thing for me so far has been like Dark and Ghost. It feels like Ghost should have been special and Dark should have been physical, but no, Bite is actually a special attack before Generation 4. That makes my life so difficult. Like Crunch on Tyranitar in Generation 2, like that, it actually doesn't work out. Then that means Houndoom and Howdow are actually like super broken because of that. Ancient Power on Stab has a chance to boost everything, not really that crazy. Spike Cannon is highly accurate with that 100% accuracy on the 2 to 5 consecutive hits. So that's something interesting right there. And then Omanyte gets Surf Blizzard, 249 special attack compared to the 284. So yeah, Omanyte is going to be doing much more damage. She's like, oh yeah, Amistar has Water Gun. It actually is a special attack with Stab, but very low base power. So the Omanyte is better, and then you have Protect, so maybe you can lay down a Poison and then bring it in for the Protect. We have Giga Drain Spore, Spore on the Parasect. It's just crazy how good of a move Spore is, and how Paras and Parasect kind of have that as their signature move right there. And then Giga Drain for Sustain, so like, how viable is that? How well would that work on the Paras and Parasect when you think about it? Because okay, we can just put them to sleep and then we heal up whatever damage by the time they wake up. And sleep is really broken. Like they're down for a lot of turns. They could stay down for a lot of turns. So yeah, so it's not like super crazy fire type hits. 222 on defense and all that fun stuff. I'm just gonna keep going between Paras and Parasect because yeah, it actually looks alright overall, and then you can Growth, but Growth only boosts... Oh wait, no. Growth raises special attack, so wow. Is Parasect just that... Or is Paras just that much better? Because Parasect comes in, it doesn't have that Growth. You can Spore on the Paras, and then you can Growth up with a Giga Drain, and then Paras is going to just wreck everything. Persian, yeah, see, Persian, if it had like Shadow Ball and all the other cool things like Meowth had. But then Bite is... I got confused. I think I might have been like, oh yeah, Bite is totally physical on the Meowth, but it's not. So there we go. We have Headbutt. Actually, yeah, Persian Speed plus Headbutt is kind of alright, but really not much else going for it. Phanpy, Swagger Double Team if you really want to be annoying. That could backfire though if you eat a really strong hit. Earthquake's not going to do a lot of damage. Pichu, there's a male Pokemon with Attract. We don't see that too often. Yeah, it's Pichu, it's a baby Pokemon, not going to expect to do too much. Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Iron Tail on the Pikachu. So really, Pikachu with Iron Tail has been around long before Ash's Pikachu learned Iron Tail. Good to know. Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Pidgey, and all that fun stuff. We have Mirror Move, Fly, Steel Wing. Without Fairy-type Pokemon, Steel Wing doesn't seem as crazy. We have the Return. Swift, again, Swift, I keep feeling like it's a special attack. No, it's a physical attack in this generation. So, that's alright. We have the Whirlwind. Pidgeotto has Frustration, and Pidgey has the Return. So that's kind of awkward right there. Piloswine, I see. Alright, so I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit. I realize this video has already been going on for quite some time, and we're only at P. I don't know about the alphabetical density of Pokemon, but, yeah, let's, actually, we don't have to, yeah, there's a lot of S and T, so we can still be here for quite a bit of time. Alright, yeah, let's go back to where we were. Pinecoat, Pinsir. Pinsir has Submission, which we've already talked about as being just an awkward move. Vice Grip, Fury Cutter, not much right there. Politoed with the Icy Wind, like lowering speed's a thing that can happen. Actually, Politoed seems annoying. Politoed seems annoying. You can Whirlpool, and then you can Perish Song. I mean, it's an old Perish trap, but hey, I guess it's something that you could do. Perish Song, Whirlpool, they're trapped for 2 turns. You switch out on last turn, and then you can KO them. Oh, dude, that's actually a little filthy right there. I wonder how many times Politoed could rinse and repeat that. Because it doesn't have Protect, it could maybe Swagger, and then it's kind of bulky but no Sustain. So that might work once or twice. That might work. Like, they have to stay in on that second KO turn or something. Hypnosis on the Poliwag. 60% accuracy, though, with Rain Dance and a Hydro Pump. That's okay. Poliwhirl, Surf Rest, Snore, Belly Drum. What is that moveset? What is that moveset? Like belly drum rest, and you just like, actually, never mind. Snore's physical. So you at least have like +6 on the snore on a high amount of attack. I don't know, maybe that Poliwhirl's good. What do I know? Mind Reader, Dynamic Punch, Hydro Pump on the Poliwrath. Mind Reader, Dynamic Punch, 218 attack. Wow, Poliwrath has less attack than most Pokemon have special attack. That's kind of awkward. Psyduck, Psych Up, Swagger, Dig, Surf. Is that good? Again, Psych Up's not really going to work too often because there's not a lot of stat boost, but yeah, that's not really that crazy. Curse on the Primate. Wow, we have a Curse Pokemon that actually isn't a Ghost type. Primate might like that. Primate might like that. Alright, so how does Porygon 2 stack up? Thief is actually a special move. Swift is physical, though. Zap Cannon, yeah, Porygon's bad, unfortunately. That's very sad. Tri-Attack, Blizzard, Sharpen. I mean, Sharpen, Tri-Attack technically on the Porygon, but yeah, not the best stat usage right there. Pupitar. Hyper Beam's physical. It does Rock Slide and Dig things, so yeah, you get good stab, you can kind of make it work out. That's not bad. Quagsire, Surf Haze, Dig, Slam. So yeah, some of these Pokemon, it's just like, oh, we have to throw in the stab. But what happens if your dual stab Pokemon doesn't have good attack or special attack? So that kind of makes things a little awkward. Fire Blast, Roll Out. Oh man, yo, I just realized something. Like, I always thought Flame Wheel might have been bad in the second generation, but it's not. Flame Wheel is actually really good because it plays on your higher amount of special attack. The more you know. Quillfish. It has actually a surprisingly high amount of attack for that Sludge Bomb. And it has Minimize. So Minimize Sludge Bomb on the Quillfish. Spam for days. Raticate, Super Fang, Scary Face. I mean, Super Fang's strong. Anything that can take out half of your opponent's hit points. Super Fang Hyper Beam and Raticate might actually find a lot of KOs. Just kind of get outsped by some other Pokemon. So Rapidash, it's got Stomp Attract. That's going to be something right there. Raikou is just trash. Oh my goodness. Raichu has Thunder on a decent amount of special attack. Quick Attack, Tail Whip. Yep, that's kind of it right there. Rattata has Super Fang, Headbutt, Shadow Ball. Yeah, actually, how fast is the Rattata? Yeah, Rattata has no speed, never mind. Remoraid, Surf, Ice Beam on an equal amount of special attack and attack. Still has that lock on, so that's something. Rhydon has a really good attack. No Rock type moves, though. And that just has, like, Dig kind of on the stomp. Zap Cannon. Why does Rhydon have Zap Cannon? The world may never know. Earthquake Rollout. Alright. But Rhydon has so much more attack. Like, we actually see some big changes for attack. However, Rollout's always just broken. Growing in power. Power returns normal if it misses. Does have that 90% accuracy. Consecutive hits are awkward. Why didn't they have Rollout with Miltank? That would have been great. If it was just Miltank, Rollout, GG, just like that. Earthquake, though, has the solid amount of power compared to the Dig. So maybe the Rhyhorn's better. Yeah, Rhyhorn has to be better with all those stats right there. Scyther, we're going to see Scyther versus Scizor. Not really too much going on right there. The Metal Claw on the Scizor would be good if Technician existed, but then that's just agility, kind of okay on the cut. Sand Slash is stats, so we get to see Sand Slash and the Sandshrew. So actually, that's kind of weird. Like, the deeper down we get into the Pokedex, the less sense it kind of makes. Like, early on, you know, we got to see the starters, got to see a difference between Abra, Alakazam, Houndour, Houndoom, Ghastly, Gengar, all of those things. And then all these other Pokemon we don't see as great of changes. Like Sandslash, it's still going to be solid with the attack on the Earthquake, but then really doesn't have too much else. Sandshrew just does about the same thing, no speed up though. Seadra, Dragon Breath, Surf on that 2v2 special attack with the Smoke Screen. That's alright. Seeking. What? Horn Drill? I always spam the Horn Drill on Seeking when I get the opportunity to. One-hit KO moves are just the best in this game. That's really all I've got to say about it. Also, Dugong was really good as well. Sentry with Shadow Ball. Nah. I just say nah to that. Synthesis on the Skiploom with Solar Beam. That's okay. Sunny Day Synthesis. Yeah, I don't really see too much else going on right there. Skarmory has Agility, Steel Wing, and Fly, so trying to be physical right there. Actually, Agility into Steel Wing and Fly might be okay. You are wasting a turn, but if it's against a physical attacker, Skarmory is just way too tanky for that. Shuckle needs a lot more tech than that. It needs to be utility. It needs to do some silliness. But then those defensive stats, I actually want to see how little damage Shuckle would take in this generation. We have Surf, Ice Beam. So yeah, Surf, Ice Beam seems to be pretty common. Like, we have Surf, Ice Beam. We have something Blizzard into stuff like that. And does a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, the attack is going to be higher on the Shelter, so Surf Ice Beam doesn't really do as much as it should. Slowbro, Confusion with the Surf. 1 in 10. 1 in 10 chance of leaving target confused. That's kind of unfortunate right there. Slow King, Psychic Water Gun. Needs Surf, has Water Gun. Decent amount of special attack, Growl Disable. Slowpoke has the coverage though. So like I said, it's Curse Headbutt. Not really going to get the flinch, not really going to add too much to that damage though. Fire Punch is yeah, Defense Curl, things like that. Sneasel, no Weavile, so Sneasel's kind of all we got. It just has special attacks. It just has special attacks. Smoochum, Psychic Blizzard. Actually kind of solid. Wait, Sweet Kiss, Confused, and then Asleep. Low accuracy though. Hey, Smeargle actually learned some fun stuff. That'd be cool if it gave you like one sketch, so you could kind of like mimic it. Confuse Ray, Mach Punch, Flamethrower, Body Slam. That doesn't do anything. I feel like Smeargle might actually be the strongest Pokemon in the second generation. Just like, if you brought like a Spore Smeargle back then, and then you had some other setup, like imagine, you know, kind of modern Smeargle tech with just all the old Pokemon from Gen 2 with all the weirdness going on. That's kind of something interesting right there. Charm, Strength, Shadow Ball, Swagger. Snubble actually alright, and I think Gramble was pretty okay too. Mirror Move, Drill Peck, Frustration, Steel Wing, Spin Rack. The stats, yeah, I think we could have just skipped over, like, I don't know, sometimes you can't count out, like, look at that! Look at Squirtle! Squirtle gets Surf, Blizzard, and Bite! And it doesn't have a lot of special attack, but has decent defenses and it can Rain Dance for itself. That's something interesting to consider. So yeah, it's like, sometimes you want to skip over like the pre-evolutions, and other times like, yo, actually it was worth checking out, because you still get some interesting stuff going on. Steelix has the Iron Tail. So Iron Tail is one of the higher base power moves in the game in general, so you can still hit pretty hard with that. Rock Throw, Mud Slap kind of has drop off after that, but Steelix doesn't have a lot of damage. So I mean, like, Mud Slap, Iron Tail, use the Iron Tail accuracy to offset with the Mud Slap into Sandstorm. Extra damage right there. Staryu versus Starmie. This is actually going to be a really interesting one. Never mind. Zap Cannon compared to just having Thunder. So you're doing more damage on better accuracy. Hydro Pump. I mean, it's high risk, high reward for sure. 216 special attack versus 248. Waterfall is 80, and then we have Staryu doing 50% more damage on the Hydro Pump as well. So that's interesting. That's just a crazy breakdown right there. Stantler, Hypnosis Dream Eater, classic Stantler. Sudowoodo, Mimic, Suicune, Trash, Sunflora, okay, Sunkern, Swinub. Yeah, it's just like Swinub, Piloswine, the Pokemon that kind of have that mixed identity from the Ice and Ground. Tangela, Sleep Powder, Giga Drain with Growth. I mean, it's like the Paris, and has better defense but lower special defense. Cause like Paris still had like Paris and Parasite still had solid stats overall. I'm wondering, like, yeah, you just Mr. Mime, you Barrier, and then you just go into Paris. Barrier, Baton Pass, Paris. Boom, done. GG. Teddy Ursa has Faint Attack, Earthquake, Slash, Attract. Alright. Teddy Ursa. And look at the hit point stat. 301 on the hit point. That's an awkward amount of hit points. But I mean, if... Actually, no. Nightshade won't hit it anyways. I was trying to think about, like, something where that 301 would come into play. But actually, it's a decent amount of hit points overall. We have, like, Metronome Pokemon, stuff like that. Bubble Beam, Barrier, Wrap, Sludge Bomb on Tentacruel. Tentacool, not really too much else to be fancy about. Oh, I can't wait to see what Typhlosion got screwed over on. See, Flame Wheel. Low amounts of base power, but at least it's special, so it has a... It hits, and it can do things. Swift, Rock Smash, though. Unfortunately, yeah, Typhlosion doesn't really get to do too much. Surf Blizzard on Totodile. Low, yeah, we already talked about how, like, Totodile, Crocodile, and all those Pokemon kind of got messed up. No Crunch, do have Bite on Tyranitar, Mud Slap, Sandstorm. Oh, it's just so sad to see how weak these Pokemon are. Vaporeon, Waterfall, Sand Attack, Quick Attack, Acid Armor. Needs Sustain, but the Acid Armor's always been hype. Ursaring has Dig, Fire Punch. Unknown with just the hidden power and those stats. Oh, you gotta run hidden. You gotta run Unknown just for the lulz. Umbreon. Oh man, Umbreon's bulky though. Umbreon has good amounts of bulk. Needs Toxic. Like, I think that would have been better than like Quick Attack or something. Has Faint Attack for Stab, so that's something right there. And we're almost at the bottom of the list. So that's something. Vileplume. Nope, no Sustain. Petal Dance. Petal Dance, only 70 base power. Yikes. Poison Powder, Acid, Sweet Scent. It's got some tech. So yeah, there are some good fully evolved Pokemon. There are some bad fully evolved Pokemon. Thunder on the good speed of Electro, or like Voltorb, and then we had Self-Destruct, Miracoat. Miracoat, maybe. Vulpix, Flamethrower, Confused Ray, not a lot of special attack. War Turtle, Waterfall, Icy Wind. So yeah, we start to see a lot of patterns when it comes down to this. I'm sorry guys if this part of the video wasn't as exciting, because I think like all the Pokemon earlier on seem to just be naturally crazier. Here we got Weedle, Poison Sting, String Shot. You gotta be a man to use the Weedle. There we go. There we go. Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's not gonna change, guys. Has an insane amount of hit points. 547 hit points in the second generation. Compared to everything else we've seen. It almost doubles Weedle's hit points. Okay, so we have Counter, Miracoat, Decibond, Safeguard. That's always just a viable kind of Wobbuffet. I'm personally not a big fan of the Safeguard, but some people could run it. I mean, you're going to get some usage out of it as well. You're going to get like Wobbuffet with the Counter, Miracoat, KOs, Destiny Bond. Yeah, you gotta run the Wobbuffet. Xatu, Fly, Future Sight, Nightshade, Flash, Giga Drain on the Yanma. Alright, Zapdos and Zubat. Thunder on Zapdos. You can at least do that. And Zubat has all kinds of weirdness in it. And there we go, guys. That's all the movesets for Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium 2. Yeah, like just something to kind of go through. I want, like, again, there are a couple of differences that I've noticed. I'm wondering if like the Poke Cup or the Little, well, actually Little Cup would definitely have something different. Oh, where'd I go? I went to the Poke Cup. So yeah, with the Prime Cup, you know, you have to see the rentals, you have to see all these other things, and it just plays out weirdly. So there are some Pokemon differences. And then if somehow you could do your game, you could use the transfer pack and bring in your Pokemon, and if you've actually like done slight amounts of EV training, or you have a little bit of optimization going on for those Pokemon with better movesets. I wonder how much easier it is to just crush Pokemon Stadium 2 when you have like the actual movesets from a transfer pack or something. I need to, there's so much I need to do in life. Like now I need to buy a silver version that has the battery replaced. That way I can play the original silver version, buy a transfer pack, use it in Pokemon Stadium 2, and then when I make the video after all that work, it's going to get like 8,000 views because no one cares about Pokemon Stadium 2, which is sad. Like, I think that as a true Pokemon fan, this is something that everyone should be hyped about. Like, just one of the best Pokemon games ever made, just in general. Like, it teaches you a lot about the game, has a lot of fun facts and trivia, and it's just a good battle simulator. Like, this is 3D Pokemon. This is Pokemon history right here. So I think that everyone should just care about it to some kind of degree. Also, I'm sorry if there was like cutouts in the video or something at some point, mostly because my like my cable adapter, it's old and rattly and doesn't really have that great of a connection sometimes. So every once in a while the screen kind of goes out. I need to replace that because I just got like a refurbished Nintendo 64. It's hard to get old classic hardware like that, but overall this is what we're looking at, guys. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all had a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.